Hello, I'm Jon Verda. Sometimes you'll see it come up as Jonathan. A little bit about me. I am in my last semester, so I'll be graduating May. Fingers crossed, working real hard. Um, I live outside of Boston, and by outside, it's about an hour west. I have a couple of kids, a couple of dogs. I'm excited to be finishing up this course. So, a little bit about my academic background. I have a bachelor's degree in history. I've done some post-bachelor's, let's call it grad work in communication theory. It's social science like psychology, sociology. I do pull on it a lot, so as I comment, you might hear me mention some of that stuff. It's stuff I truly believe in. Hopefully, it adds something to the course. Um, my career currently, I work for Vibram USA. If you're familiar with Five Fingers or Vibram Soling, if you've ever been in the military, you've had a boot with our souls on the bottom of it. It's a really nice company. I like them, but it's a job versus a career, and I want my career to be in higher education. Prior to working at Vibram, I worked in residence life in higher ed. I worked at Fitchburg State College for a few years as a building director. It's similar to a resident director position. Ran a position with mostly freshmen and sophomores in my building. Moved to Houston from Boston to take a job at Sam Houston State University as an area coordinator. Had half the campus. Pretty challenging job, but fell in love with it. Due to some personal stuff, my wife and I moved back to Boston, basically for some career opportunities. And after some reflection and a lot of coursework, I decided that higher ed's where I want to be. And in order to take the next step in my career, a master's degree is a necessity. So my goal is once I graduate or as I approach graduation to start interviewing for middle level kind of management higher education jobs, so like assistant director roles in residence life, hopefully in the Massachusetts or New Hampshire area. And then, like I said, I want to start that interviewing process before I graduate, and hopefully by the time I graduate, have something lined up, or sometime shortly after graduation, have something lined up. So the question is posed, why is work important? And sorry, when I look to the side, I'm reading my notes. It's a good question. Work is important, I would say, because it's an identifier. It's a personal identifier. It helps describe the self. I've said it in other classes, I'll say it again. We can describe our identity through stories. So I tell different stories as a person. I have the story of being a dad. I have the story of being a student. I have the story of as an employee or a worker. And those stories can move up and down. Importance depends on who I'm talking about. That can help identify me in different ways. But work as an important part for a lot of other people identifies me. So when someone asks you how you're doing, often it's or who are you, I should say. It's often followed up by what do you do? They use that what you're doing as a way to classify you, to identify you, to form opinions of you. So work is important both for the self internally and then your external identity. In some senses, I think it can help give you purpose. Though it shouldn't be alone as the only thing that gives you purpose, because purpose without balance isn't really purpose. It's more of a demand. It's more of it's more grueling. So I see work as important because it helps identify you. So I look forward to the rest of the class with everyone. I'm excited to watch your videos, and good luck to everyone.